July 10, 2023. I still feel the same listlessness I always do. I have no drive nor motivation to do anything. Even the things I used to enjoy doing is hard for me to do. Ever since, I have been in a constant state of burnout, lasting months, or perhaps it was always there, silently brewing and infusing my veins with a paralyzing disinterest for everything. It's funny how I always mention in my other videos about enjoying the process of making art and not worrying too much about the results, but I can never seem to take my own advice. Lately, I've been trying to get back into drawing, but it didn't feel fun anymore. The childlike joy I used to have when creating, that spark was no longer there. All I felt was frustration that my art looked terrible and the knowing that I could do better but couldn't put it into practice because I hadn't drawn for so long. There was only frustration and disappointment now when making art, and I wanted to change that. So this video marks the start of my journey in making art fun again. And so I gave myself 3 tasks to accomplish. 1. Try a new art form. 2. Do a fun mini project. And 3. Get inspired. Chapter 1. Trying something new. Sumie, the name translating to ink painting, is an art form that is the embodiment of the phrase, "There is beauty in simplicity." It has historical roots in China and is based on Taoism, a philosophy that embraces living in harmony with the universe and the energy called as qi within it. Artists that practice Sumie do not think of it merely as painting, they think of it as meditation. It requires a stillness of the mind and unity of the artist and their brush. And so it also instills discipline in the artist by training their mind to focus on the present before them, because with Sumie, only one brushstroke is allowed for each mark. There are no takebacks. However, I do have to apologize because I did not follow that rule, as you will see later on in the video. And even the brushstrokes I'm using are not the traditional techniques they would teach with Sumie. So if there are any Sumie masters or students watching, I deeply apologize. Please forgive me for doing this incorrectly. I was just playing around. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of just treating it as if it were watercolor. As for the materials I'm using, I have this calligraphy set that was gifted to me by my friend while she was staying in Japan because I mentioned to her about wanting to try calligraphy as a hobby, and I expected her to just get me a calligraphy pen or something, and then she got me this, which is the set that grade schoolers actually use when they're starting out with calligraphy. So if you're watching this, please do know that I'm very grateful for the thoughtful gift, and I am indeed using it, and I will make sure to make good use of this amazing gift that you got me. Thank you very much. I also tried doing shodo, or Japanese calligraphy, not to be mistaken with shudo, which I thought what it was called. Apparently it's not, but anyways, back to Japanese calligraphy. I did that. No idea what all of these mean, but I did it. Hooray! Another hobby I've been trying out lately is writing. I know, super surprising, because I used to be a journalist in grade school and I mostly wrote science articles, which I did not enjoy doing at the time, and I have not enjoyed writing since. But I recently watched a video by Odysseys on mini essays and Anna Howard's video on creating a digital garden, and that's what inspired me to start getting into writing again, and it has proving to be really enjoyable for me. Although it's not amazing writing, I will say, that's okay. I don't care, because no one is going to read it. And I think that's one of the reasons why the joy in creating wasn't there for me anymore, because I always felt like I had to show it to someone after. And I put this pressure on myself to make sure that everything I made had to turn out good, because I felt like there was an audience out there that had to see it. Chapter 2. Make something. Anything. For my mini project, I decided to work on a webtoon that I've been wanting to make for a very long time, but I put it on the back burner for a while because I wanted to take my time developing the characters and doing my research, but in the end, that never really happened. I drew the characters once and then completely forgot about it. But it's time to put my foot down and actually start working on it. So here's a few snippets of what I've been working on. It's nothing complicated, and you can read it on the website Line Webtoon eventually. It's not gonna be super polished because I want to focus on putting something out rather than making it look good or perfect. Chapter 3. Find a muse. When you stay cooped up at home and do the same old routine, it can start to feel dull. And it's not doing any wonders for my motivation to make something, so it has now come to that point, my friends, where we must touch grass.
You're making me jump! We are guys. Okay. Oh
What I've come to realize just recently is that life truly revolves around love. I recently watched a video by Josephine, and in that video she quotes that goals are for the living, loving is for the immortal. And that's when this little seedling of an idea started to sprout. And that is the central dogma of life, is to put love at the center of all that you do. While discipline is important, the idea of hustling or working hard just for the sake of it is not great. Speaking from experience as a massive workaholic and the eldest child of an Asian family, I felt this numerous times in my first year during university, where I was just studying all for the sake of a piece of paper. I worked hard, but I also kept asking myself, why was I working this hard? And at times like that, you need to remind yourself of why you started in the first place. It could be your passion, your love for the course, but I didn't really have that, so I just kept working and running for no reason at all. I also read The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Tolstoy and found myself relating to him a lot. He married his wife because he thought it was the appropriate thing to do for someone of his status. He studied law because he thought it was the right thing to do in the eyes of society. But all those things, not once he did because he loved his wife or enjoyed studying law. And when he died, he tried to recall the best moments of his life. But strangely enough, what he thought were his best moments in life were actually not that great at all. And at the pinnacle of his deathbed, we, the reader, are hit with the realization that we can leave our legacy in gold, embed it in stone, and shower it with stardust, but in the end, none of these things persist. To put it more eloquently in Proust's words, after the people are dead, after things are broken and scattered, taste and smell alone, more fragile but enduring, more immaterial, more persistent, more faithful, remain posed for a long time. Truly, loving is for the immortal. But I'm not going to end this video saying I found the cure for burnout. Even now I find myself drawing just for the sake of drawing something. I draw easily enough from references, but I've lost that part of me that just draws straight from imagination. I struggle drawing what comes to mind because I have to consider the anatomical correctness, and when I draw a character, I'm constantly thinking about the most pleasing shape design, and while it's helped improve my art for sure, I definitely don't draw characters the same way I would as a kid. I draw while considering many technical aspects, but whether the fact that I'm having fun is the least of my concerns. But that's a conversation for another day. I'm afraid I've rambled incoherently for far too long, and I think I lost my train of thought along the way, but the gist of it is that just love what you do. And if you've managed to stick around to the end of this video, dear viewer, thank you so much for watching. And while this video was definitely not made with the intention for giving advice and tips on how to handle burnout, there's plenty of that out there on YouTube. This was more or less just a video talking about my experience and how I'm dealing with burnout as an artist. And if you are a fellow artist watching this who is also burnt out, just take your time, no need to rush. Art will always be there for you, it's not going to go away, and I at least hope this video has helped you in alleviating your worries in some way. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!